Welcome to episode 12 of the Missing Pieces podcast. If you're new here, this is the podcast where I share my life and Lego and anything else that I found interesting in the last week, and hopefully you do too. This episode, we start off with a bit of a celebration because it turns out, and I actually had to be reminded of this from a Brickitecter, yesterday was my 6-year anniversary here on Brickitect. So on December 7th, 2013, I very awkwardly uploaded my first video here on the channel where I described the fact that I wanted to rekindle my childhood passion for Lego and share those videos as an adult and just share my Lego collecting journey. And here I am 6 years later actually doing it, and it's turned into this amazing thing that we have here. It went from a guy who 6 years ago thought that he was just going to be making these little silly videos of toys and having a good time to having this amazing community and just creating this awesome thing that we have here. And I still can't believe where we're at. I think we're at like 78,000 subscribers right now. And if you would have told me that then, I would just been like, no way. No way is that possible. But it's happened, and I feel so blessed to be in this position that I'm in and to have the community that I have, which is the most important thing. I just feel so good about it. And I would say there's never been a time that I've been more passionate about this than I am right now. I just love everything that's happening in the Lego space. I've been reinvigorated in this. There was a time maybe a few months ago where I was kind of just like, I don't know, I was kind of getting into RC trucks, and I'm like, dude, this is like way more fun than Lego is. But I find that now that the winter months have rolled around and the outside stuff has kind of gone away a little bit, this Lego thing is the thing that keeps me going and gives me something to look forward to. And it's just this passion of sharing this with the world is, I think, like it's the perfect storm of things. And I've talked about this before, where my passion is cameras and making videos, and the fact that I can take something from my childhood that I loved and do it as an adult and actually have the money and the ability to buy things, at least for now, Kappa, talking to you, and then share that with my son and share it with the world and get this feedback and actually make a business out of this is just like, I've said this before too. I feel like Missing Pieces is essentially turning into missing repeats. I feel like I've won life's lottery, and I'm just so fortunate. So I want to thank you. If you're watching this, you're one of the people that have supported me. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day just for sitting here and listening to me talk about things. It's incredible. Any other word that I could use to describe it other than incredible, I wish I could. I'm going to have to look up some synonyms for incredible. It's all I can say. But this week, something that's also gotten me passionate about Lego that I've really been enjoying, and I've shared this progress with you, is Cloud City. Betrayal at Cloud City, the Star Wars set. You saw me unbox it like a week ago, and I've been building through it. The naysayers were saying that it was going to take me weeks to build. Well, have you know, Friday night I built bag 12, and yesterday was kind of busy. So today I think I'm going to finish up bag 13, which will actually finish off that set. And I have just been really loving that set so much. I love the fact that, like, I'm so used to just building small things. It's just this, very short period of time, and then we see it and we check it out, we play with it, and we move on. This has been like a process. Bag 1, and you see what it looks like, and then like bag 2 comes in and so forth, and you see this thing start to create and get bigger and bigger and actually form this city, and just all the minifigs with it, and experiencing this with Clark, and then sharing like the step-by-step thing has just been, can I say it? Incredible. I've really been loving it, and I feel like I'm really getting into the Star Wars world. Like, I'm looking at this set, and it's given me the satisfaction that I used to think that like Lego Creator and Lego City, and I talked about this in a live stream that I did. In fact, I'm back to live streaming. I've talked about this before. I did a late night radio show earlier this week. So if you like this style of podcast, you might want to go over to Brickitect Live and subscribe over there, because I'm going to be doing a lot more of that. And it's kind of like this long form, just talking about things. And that really doesn't have any video or anything. It's just me talking about whatever's happening, along with a live stream chat, which makes things interesting as well. But I used to think that I love Lego Creator and Lego City. In fact, I have an entire shelf over here filled with Creator, and the one below it's filled with City, and you can see it a little bit here in the background if you're watching this. If you're not watching this, which I'm realizing now doesn't make any sense, but you can also listen to this anywhere that you can find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can listen to this as well if you'd rather be doing that than sitting here staring at this. I wouldn't blame you for that, and I completely understand. But I don't know, like I thought I loved Creator because of the value. It was like this 3-for-1 thing where I could get 3 sets and build mobile things and stuff. And, it's got minifigs and playability, and City was kind of the same way. City over the last couple years has really disappointed me with the selection of sets. I just haven't loved them. And I used to say, like, I wasn't really into licensed sets, but now I find myself becoming like a a minifig dude, where I just really love minifigs quite a bit, and that's kind of like what's drawing me into Lego sets. And I know a lot of people are the same way. And I watch some channels here on YouTube where they do custom minifigs, like Mini Superheroes Today. I really love his work, and I just love seeing that. And I would love to get my collection sorted to the point where I had like all the heads in one place and torsos and legs, and like if I came up with an idea that I wanted to make something, and I actually have a spoof one that I want to do that I think could be really funny. I would love to be able to do that and make stuff like that. So I could see that being something that I do going into next year. And I mentioned before on this podcast that I have a lot of ideas for next year and some major changes that I want to make to take this into more of a creative route as opposed to just us being consumers and sharing sets that we buy and stuff, which there'll still be some of that, but I just have bigger dreams. Year 7 on Brickitect is going to be, I think, my best year, even though we're going into unsettling times. I still feel like with the passion that I have for it and the ideas that I have and the direction that I want to go, I think year 7 on Brickitect is going to be my best one yet, and at least I hope so. I guess we'll find out. Even if I don't mean this financially, I feel like in terms of fulfillment, which I'm thinking about more and more these days, and I think about my last life as a manager of a financial institution. And I found that I didn't really hate the work that I was doing. What I was lacking is fulfillment. I wasn't passionate about what I was doing. I didn't really believe in what I was doing, which is essentially putting people in debt. Even though they thought that I was doing them a service and they were very happy with me and loved the customer service, it wasn't something that I could get behind. And I find that sharing my experience online, whether it's through Lego or my life or just being something positive in what can sometimes be a negative world, I'm not getting emotional. That to me is the most fulfilling thing that I could ever do, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna fight through this, and you're gonna see this, whether you want to or not. You're gonna see this here on YouTube or wherever else we need to go if it comes to it. So just I'm feeling really good right now, and I want to like bottle this up and use this sometime when times aren't so good, because it's just the passion is flowing through me. The ideas are going, the direction is clear. Even in this time of uncertainty, it feels good to be in this place. And yeah, I feel like this is my calling, and I've been getting some messages lately that have really reinforce that as well. I have an Instagram, so if you want to follow me over there, I post pictures and things, as people tend to do on Instagram. I don't do any like video promotion there, so if that's what you're looking for, it's not me. But I get messages from people talking about some of the hard times they're going through, like whether it be depression or physical health issues and stuff, and how my videos, or our videos I should say, it's not a solo operation here, how these videos help people, and it's wild. That 2013 Greg on December 7th, when he clicked on his camcorder back in the day, he never had any idea when he was talking about creating a Lego channel in that video, the power that would have. And dang it, I need to stop talking about this. It's incredible. I'm just going to title this incredible. Okay, let's go on to topic 2 here. This is one that you guys have asked me about, and I need to make a video on this. The DC CMFs. We're talking about minifigs there and how much I enjoy them. Yeah, I do. And I've historically, I'm now collecting the CMFs as they come out. I try to get the complete collections. I've been very fortunate that people from my community, whether it be my friends or just people that watch the channel, have sent me a lot of these. In fact, sometimes entire collections, which you can see behind me here, I think. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. I don't know why I'm doing a podcast and I do so many visual things, but these ones are tough. I'm not a huge DC detector, if that's even a thing. I should probably stop saying that, because I feel like maybe people are getting triggered by me putting a detector on everything, but it's kind of like, it's our thing that we have here. It's an inside thing. I'm not a huge fan of DC. Not saying that I don't like it. I just don't know all of the history and the backstory and stuff. So a lot of these CMFs that have come out from this, and I'm sure you've seen all the images and whatnot, I don't really know who any of these guys are, so I'm just going to be basing it off of ones that I think look cool and maybe find out the names of them. And I'll do a video as a Brickitect buying it on which ones I like. There are several that I think are really sweet looking, but the thing that's kind of scaring me away ever so slightly, well, maybe more than slightly, is the fact that they're raising the price to $5 supposedly. And I really think that Lego is pushing it here. I feel like that is the price point where you're going to push a lot of people out. You know the DC fans are going to be on it. I mean, I think, and I hope this doesn't offend you, DC detectors, but if they would have done this with like a Marvel series and raised the price to $5, I don't think it would have had any impact at all. other than maybe the parents. Like I look at things as a Lego enthusiast and or obsessive person on Lego one way, which is like, hey, I'm willing to pay that. But then I look at things as like a dad that I'm not the typical dad that goes into like the Lego aisle with their kid and their kid's like, hey dad, I want this thing. And I'm like, that's $5, son. Go get a Lego set for $20 that you get so much more out of. But I can see both angles of this, and I think they're going to scare away a lot of those casual people. I don't think that $5 is reasonable for just getting a minifig, especially when you can get a poly bag that sometimes has one or two, possibly for $4, or you can get a $10 Lego set or $20 Lego set with so much more value in it. But if you are a huge fan of DC, I could see that kind of, being successful possibly. But I think this is going to be the one where we really see what the price point is on these things. I personally think, and this may be the unpopular opinion, well, probably not unpopular among people that actually buy these things, but I feel like $3 is the price point that they really should be at. $3 for a minifig is very, very fair, I feel like. But although, they do classify these as collectible and maybe they're limited, supposedly, even though you can get them pretty much anywhere, $4 was a stretch for me. That's why I never collected these. I just felt like they were unreasonable. But then $5 is kind of the point where even me as a fan, even though I'm Cheapitect and Dealitect and stuff, I'm kind of just like, no, I don't think I'm going to get the entire collection at $5 a pop. So I'm going to find out which ones I like. I need to kind of review the list again and make a video on that, which I think I'll probably end up doing maybe early this week. I know I'm late to the game, but Brickitect isn't a news source. Brickitect is a sharing my experience source, and a lot of people want to know, and I've gotten this question several times, which ones I want. So I'll make that and share it with the world, and hopefully I don't make any mistakes in it, because I know how passionate comic book fans are, and especially fans of these licensed things, which is a dangerous world to get into. Like, I talk about Lego Creator. I could talk about a car or a truck and stuff and not know the backstory on it, but as soon as you start talking about a DC character and you get it wrong, people are going to let you know about it. So it's I guess it's one of those things, but that's okay. That's completely fine. That's what this dialogue is for. Other things that happened this week, probably like the biggest thing of this week, I suppose, other than Cloud City becoming like this week-long process that I've been thoroughly enjoying, and I don't have any regrets on buying that. I've had people tell me in the comments that they're considering buying it as well, and if you are, the original price tag is a little salty, and it was super cheap through Amazon. I should have did this video like before the Amazon deals happen and like the Walmart deals and even Lego deals happen, because then you could have got it cheap. I wouldn't pay full price for it, but that's pretty much my philosophy on all things Lego. So take that with a grain of salt. This week though, Minecraft. I told you guys last week that Clarky was starting to get into Minecraft, and this week it's a nightly thing, boys. Every single night, me and Clark Man are getting into the Minecraft scene. Not because of me. I wasn't really super passionate about playing Minecraft or wanting to do it. But every night we have dinner and Clark's like, can we go play Minecraft? And I'm like, okay, we'll go down and play for like 20 minutes or something like that. You guys know what happens when you try playing Minecraft for 20 minutes? It's an hour and a half later. You're sitting here trying to manage your inventory and do all this stuff. I've really been enjoying it. In fact, it's reinvigorated Games with Greg, which is my gaming series that I do, or gaming, not series, I guess it's a YouTube channel. Games with Greg. It was my original toy channel. I started it in December 2012. It seems like every December I kind of start this new thing up. I started a toy channel. It wasn't really popping off the way that I wanted. I was going to Kmart like during my lunch breaks and finding like toys cheap, and I was reviewing them here and there. It kind of died off a little bit, and that's when I created the Lego thing, and that's just, obviously, this is what's happened with that. So it was called Greg Loves Toys. I turned that into Games with Greg about a year ago or so. It was one of those things where I wanted a gaming channel for a long time, and I was talking to Mrs. Brickitect about this morning. I wanted a gaming channel for a long time, and I would allude to it in my live streams, like, yeah, I want to do a gaming series and stuff. And there was this dude, and I wish I could remember his name because he's the inspiration. He's like, you're never going to start that channel. And with me, the worst thing, or maybe best thing you can do for me, is to tell me that I either can't or won't do something, because I am like, I'm doing it. And that day, literally that day, I started a gaming channel. And I had like my setup and stuff. And me and Clark have been live streaming Minecraft. We've done 2 episodes. Last night was a hilarious. We turned on, actually, I'll link the video down below if you want to see it. We turned on enemies or mobs or whatever they're called. I'm still getting my Minecraft lingo down. And Clark, I was trying to fish. It was my new thing that I was learning. Everything that I'm doing in Minecraft and everything that I know, I've learned from the people that are in my live stream. I literally know nothing about Minecraft. I go in, they tell me how to do something, I try to do it. I'm sometimes successful, sometimes not. But everything that I know to do, I've learned from them. And it's really a cool process to like have this interaction where it's like, okay, how do I do this? Or what do I do? How do I get this? What do I need to do here? People offering up just suggestions on things to do. Last night I was fishing, right? So I somehow found some string and I made a fishing line. And I have this little waterway beside the house, which Clark is... He's destroyed my entire setup that I had, which is fine because he's learning. But he's getting really good at the game. I'm fishing, and I'm trying to catch this fish. Clark is across the water, and he gets into the water, like right where I'm fishing at. And I don't know if it actually scares away the fish or not, but I was all fired up about it, and I'm yelling and stuff. And him doing that, like instant karma hits him because this water zombie thing, which apparently are called drowned. I learned this last night through the comments on that video. It attacks him and kills him. So it was just like this instant karma thing. And it was hilarious and seeing him die. And it was just like one of those classic moments. And I made like a little highlight video out of it, which was really cool. And I don't know, it's again like Minecraft right now. And I apologize if you're not into Minecraft. Actually, I don't, because this is my podcast. So we can talk about whatever I'm interested in, right? I say it right in the beginning of this. Minecraft is becoming what Lego has become for me. It's this thing that I really like, but has gone to the next level because I'm sharing this experience with my son and we're doing this together. And I am having such a good time. And I have like dreams in Minecraft, just like I have dreams on this channel of what I want to do. Like my ultimate dream in Minecraft is to become almost like a homesteader where I have like this really cute like cabin built and I have maybe like a stream outside of it and I have some cool trees and I'm growing food and I have animals. Of course, I need to learn how to do all that stuff, but that's like my ultimate dream for Minecraft is to do that. Like I don't have any plans to like go defeat the Ender Dragon and do all this crazy stuff. Really, what I would kill for in Minecraft, and I'm probably demonetized now because of me saying killed twice, is not for kids, not made for kids. That's my new thing as opposed to demonetized. I need a compass. We're playing in a small world, and I've gotten like off the map, and I have a heck of a time getting back, and I've used the sun to determine my direction to get there. The coordinate thing is like baffling my mind, and I just need a compass. I need to find some redstone to make a compass. So maybe that'll be like my next thing. But I say all this to say, if you want to follow our Minecraft journey on Games with Greg, it's linked down below. All my other channels are linked down below. If you want to follow my vlogging life, my live streams, my gaming stuff, I'm all over YouTube, and I'm trying to keep these other channels alive, and that's going to be a big part of 2020 as well, is getting into these other spaces too. And the streaming thing, last night I figured out, or yesterday afternoon, it was kind of a frustrating thing because I figured out this new setup that I wanted to do for streaming Minecraft, or anything actually, and I'm using OBS, and I figured out that I can use it with my MacBook, which wasn't a thing that I thought I could do before. And I have like my good microphone set up, and you might be able to see it back here. Maybe not. I don't know what you can see so much. But I have like this setup, and it felt like it was really going to work, and I wanted to test it. And then Mrs. Brickitect's like, we got to go get groceries. So I was like, shoot. So I didn't have a chance to test it, but I did last night, and everything went really well, except for the game audio was glitching in and out, but I think I might have gotten that resolved. And I'm really proud of this whole gaming thing because it's something that I literally knew nothing about, like how to live stream video games. But through the power of YouTube, I was able to learn like what products I need and how this works and all this stuff. And it's just amazing what you can do if you put your mind behind it. If you want to become, I don't want to say an expert, but if you want to become proficient in something, literally all you have to do is click on that search bar and type in what you're trying to do, and magic can come of it. And we've had a really good time over there. I'm shocked that even after, I haven't live streamed on Games with Greg since February, I think was my last live stream where I live streamed Fortnite, which I don't think I'm playing again. I still had like 30 people watching my stream. So that's pretty awesome to have like these people that have stuck around long enough through essentially what I would consider to be a dead channel. They stuck around with me and they were there helping me out, and it was cool. Frustrating, very frustrating, because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm relying on a lot of other people to help me. But nonetheless, it was a cool process, and to share that with Clark, man. We probably do need to cool it a little bit. He said last night his shoulder hurts because he's playing like, if you can't see me, I'm flailing my arms around. He moves his whole body when he's playing. So I think he's getting sore from playing Minecraft, which is hilarious. Not hilarious, but we maybe need to cut it to like 30-minute segments, but it's just so addicting. I need to set like an alarm on my phone. Last night I looked and we were supposed to play for 30 minutes and it was like an hour and a half later. I'm like, oh God, we need to stop. So that was something. In addition to Minecraft, though, Clark obviously is obsessed with it. I'm a casual fan, I would say. We go to Walmart and they have, well, we're going to Walmart for an advent calendar. I guess I'll just talk about this now. This is a little bit later in the show notes here, but I have a Lego City advent calendar. We've been doing that. I purposely don't share any part of that because I get super annoyed with people that do like the daily videos on it or the daily Instagram posts where they show the picture, especially if it's something you haven't opened yet and you look at Instagram and you're like, shoot, you just spoiled today's advent calendar for me. I don't share that, but I've been looking at the Star Wars ones that people have been doing, and I decided that I wanted a Star Wars advent calendar. And I ordered one through Target back on like December 2nd or 3rd. And they pulled the thing on me, what they did once before when I ordered the escape pod from Star Wars, where they're like, yeah, we'll get that out to you. Then they're like, yeah, it's delayed. The estimate deliveries, instead of being the 6th, is going to be like the 10th. And then they're like, yeah, it still hasn't shipped yet, and it's Friday. So I was like, you know what? We're halfway through December almost. I'm going to Walmart. I'm getting myself a Star Wars advent calendar because they hadn't shipped it yet. So me and Clark load up. We had to get some other things at Walmart. I go and get my advent calendar, and I told him, if you want to look at the Minecraft sets, we can pick one out, right? Like, why not? You're into Minecraft. So he picks out this little one that's and you'll see the video on this next Friday on Greg's World. It kind of became a Greg's World vlog, even though it's Lego related. If you want to check that out, it's going to be over there. He wanted this little Minecraft set, which is like a sheep set, has like a big red sheep and all these other ones. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's only $16. I start eyeing up this, the Creeper Mine, which is an $80 set. And I'm like, dude, that thing is cool. And Clark Man in the meantime is kind of like, he's like asking if he can get 2 sets. I'm like, no, just 1. But then I'm looking at this set and I'm like, wow, I really want that. And I wasn't going to convince him to put his set back to get this one. So we ended up getting both of them, which I had no regrets over. He also got a Hot Wheels and I got my advent calendar. So our cart was pretty full of toys. And I took a picture for Instagram, not flexing or anything like that. I don't want to be construed or misconstrued as one of those people that's just like, hey, look at all the stuff that I got, or look how great things are, or my life or whatever. But I took a picture of Clark like looking into the cart, like longing for these things that's in there. And I got this message. I got a lot of messages from people, but I always tell you it's the negative ones that we focus on. It's like I got a lot of positive ones. We're like, oh, that's cool, Minecraft. You guys, every 4 to 6 year olds into Minecraft. Soon it's gonna be Fortnite. Like it was like a lot of positivity. But then there was one message that I got, and it had like a good number of upvotes that made me a little sad. It said, and maybe there's some truth in this. You guys can comment on this. I'm curious to see what you think. It said maybe you should ease up on spoiling Clark, and I get that criticism a lot. When you're a guy that goes shopping in the toy section of a lot of stores quite often and are buying a lot of toys, especially with a kid, I get like, oh, your kid's so spoiled. Usually it's from people that aren't like fans of the channel or know our dynamic or anything like that. They don't know that really I'm as into this, if not more into it than Clark is. And like, really these things are for me. And that's oftentimes what I reply with. I do like a little snarky reply like, oh, that stuff's not for him. It's for me. I don't buy him toys, but we all know the truth. It's for both of us. And when you get a negative comment, and I'm sure anybody that's uploaded videos on here, like I said, you can get a ton of positive ones, but when you get that like one negative one, it kind of gets at you. And maybe it gets at me a little bit more because I do see the truth in it. I know that Clark gets a lot, but I don't consider him to be a spoiled kid. This is something that I think he appreciates quite a bit. And you guys, obviously, you send him a lot of stuff in the mail as well, and I get spoiled comments on that as well. But he loves these things. He plays with everything you guys send, and I don't know. I guess I look at a spoiled kid as someone who doesn't appreciate things and is entitled, and I don't think Clark's that at all. He loves these activities that we do, and for me, if for someone to tell me to stop spoiling Clark, essentially what that's telling me is that I shouldn't do my passion anymore, which is to oftentimes sharing toy stuff or Lego stuff, and maybe this is me justifying it. Maybe this is me finding excuses, but this is us spending time together. I wish I had a dad that spoiled me in the way that I spoiled Clark. My dad got me a lot of toy stuff, but that was his only way of showing love or affection or whatever, was through material items. With me, I don't feel like it's that at all. I buy these things for us to do together. These sets and these toys that you see in that cart that he's looking at, that he's supposedly spoiled from, those are opportunities for us to spend time together and to make videos and share those with the world to entertain people. And I know my most passionate fans or most loyal or close fans, my loyal liege, I don't know. You guys understand this, but I can definitely understand the whole spoiled thing, because the kid gets a lot of stuff for sure. But this is what we do. This is us. And obviously we could use the stuff we have, but if he's into Minecraft and I'm into Minecraft and it's like top of our mind, and he wants to get a Minecraft set and I want to get a Minecraft set, and we have the money to do it, and we're not hurting anyone, we're not hurting ourselves, I don't see why that's a problem. And I guess another thing that's just come to my mind now that as we're talking about this, I guess a part of it could also be maybe some jealousy there. I don't know. When you get a comment from someone, you don't know how old they are. You don't know if they're a 7-year-old, 10-year-old. You don't know if they're a 50-year-old, honestly. Maybe there's some jealousy there, like, oh, I wish I could have that. That kid's spoiled. And I don't want to come off like, oh, that person's jealous and that's why they said it. But there could be an element to that there. And my goal isn't to make people jealous. It's just, my goal is my goal as it's been since 2013, to share my Lego collecting journey with the world. And that's what I'm doing. And sometimes that involves us going to the store and getting things to facilitate that. I think it makes sense. Clarkman also got another thing at the grocery store yesterday. I think I'm kind of defeating my argument that Clark isn't spoiled. We're at the checkout line yesterday at the grocery store, and you guys know how that is. You're looking around, you're kind of like bored or whatever, and they had Playmobil sets there. These little Playmobil boxes that open up. They're like about that big. If you're listening, I would say about 9 inches by about 6 inches, and inside of it is a go-kart. And we have never done anything with Playmobil, and I've seen it at the store, and I've been somewhat interested in it. I know they have some cool licenses, like they have the Ghostbusters license, and I saw one really awesome Playmobil set, and I'm curious if you guys have any comments on Playmobil, let me know. They have a Noah's Ark set, which is this giant boat and all these animals with it, and I thought that thing was really cool, and the prices are very reasonable. When you come from Lego and you're used to the insane prices that Lego sets are, when you see Playmobil, you're like, dang, that's cheap! You've been desensitized to it. We got this little set for Clark, man. He brought it home and built it. It was 24 pieces, I think. It was $7. Big pieces, though, like entire chunks of this car, and it has like the Playmobil dude that's with it, which if you don't know what they look like, they're kind of like maybe 3 inches tall, and they're somewhat posable and stuff. I still like minifigs better, but I can see why it's fun for a kid, and he built that and has enjoyed it quite a bit. But I don't know, I was thinking maybe we would do a little bit of Playmobil going forward. I didn't love the one thing that I don't love very much about it is that the pieces are very specific. Like, you build a Lego set, we all know what that's like, where you buy a Lego Star Wars car, and you build the car, and then you're like, I'm going to build a house out of that, and then I'm going to build a monster, then I'm going to build, it's just like a boat, endless things that you build. Playmobil, it's like, here's 6 pieces that put a car together, and that's what you have. It's essentially like buying an action figure and like a model that you maybe put together like once, and it just takes a couple minutes. And they consider it a building toy, but it's not a lot of building, at least with that small set. But you could say the same thing about a Lego polybag. My first experience with it was like not overly impressed, but maybe something I want to explore. It actually brought back a memory for me. Speaking of comments, way back when I started this channel, or a few years after that, I got yard sale stuff, which I still do, but I dumped it out and I was showing off like this haul that I got. And there was a Playmobil dude in there. And at the time, I had no idea what Playmobil was. I just knew it wasn't Lego, and I put him in like the non-Lego thing, and I think I donated or whatever. But people were like, "No, that's Playmobil." Which, at the time when they were leaving these comments, I was like, "Oh man, Playmobil must be something really valuable or whatever." But I don't think it is. Maybe that figure in particular was, and that's why I always like to make videos of these random things that I get from yard sales, because I've been saved on a number of times from people either like, yeah, that's Lego, or no, that's not Lego, or don't throw that thing away, or don't donate that, or whatever, because it's just that. And yeah, it's, again, the power of sharing your experiences, and the power of a community is, I think, the most valuable thing that you could ever have. Like me playing Minecraft with Clark. I could sit there and struggle. I could look things up on the internet while he plays. I could try to do research, but how cool is it to be doing something and in real time have someone tell you, no, go over there and do this. It's awesome. And even like through these things that we're doing here, I love getting feedback from you guys, which perfect segue into our next section of this, which I think is going to be a regular thing on here. We got viewer feedback from last week. Got some comments on last episode that I thought I would address here, and I would like this to be more of an interactive thing where we can talk back and forth, and maybe I'll save it for the end of each episode, or depending on the feedback on this episode, maybe we should do it at the beginning. where I could kind of talk about the last week. But I kind of like just jumping into the new thing and then saving this for the people that really want to stick around, because trust me, if you're still here at this point, you want to stick around. So let's get into some feedback from last week. And the first thing here is actually a mistake that I made that I need to correct. This is from BLS Bricks, and I think a couple other people also commented on this. I was talking about the Mandalorian set that I was really loving because I was watching Mandalorian, which I still need to watch episode 5, and that's why we haven't talked about that here. But Mandalorian ATST was a set that I was looking at because I want that Mandalorian minifig. I want him bad, and he's like $16 on Bricklink, so for me, it made sense to buy the set for $40, which I was going to wait for a price drop. And it turns out, according to BLS Bricks here, unfortunately, the Mandalorian ATST is retail $50, so the $40 price point is already 20% off. And I was like, dang, that's an expensive set at $50. Those ATSTs, they've gotten a little greedy with them. I remember they used to be $40, which we can all look back on past LEGO memories and remember when things were cheaper. But $40, and I think they put that really crappy one that they made for, was it the Last Jedi movie, up to $50, and that sold like garbage. And then they're like, hey, let's try that again because this one's like actually fully built at $50. I'm not in at $50. $40, like, I still want cheaper, so I'm gonna try to hope for like clearance or whatever, or maybe if the prices go down on the Mandalorian minifig. That's all I really want out of it. But I do like the ATST, and Clark, as we were talking about in our shopping video the other day, he wants to build the legs. So might be in our future to get that. But I just wanted to correct that because I did make a mistake. That is actually a $50 set that is on sale already at $40. So me wishing for 20% off probably isn't going to happen anytime soon. Another follow-up comment. This is from Marcio, who's replying to my idea to do a junk build on the UCS Millennium Falcon as a way to tell Amazon, shove it. That's the nicest thing that I could say without taking it further. Marcio says, hi, I've been slowly building 6285 Black Seas Barracuda set with leftover pieces and a little help of Bricklink. It's been a fun journey, and I've been lucky with some hard-to-find parts. I confess I imagine what it would be like to do this with the biggest set of all, the UCS Millennium Falcon. And honestly, if anyone can do it, it's you. I would love to follow this project, and it would also give me more encouragement to finish my pirate ship. Yeah, I mean, I threw that out there, and the idea was that I would take my entire inventory, like kind of get it sorted, which is step one, and then figure out what I have for the UCS Millennium Falcon, which is a ginormous set, over 7,000 pieces, I believe. We looked it up. And PJ collects, and well, we're kind of going back and forth about this, but we were talking about the fact that I could do a thing where I get all my pieces together, and then I make a Google spreadsheet or do some type of online thing that I still have yet to research. But to put it out there, what pieces I'm missing. And obviously you guys send us stuff in the mail, and maybe someone's looking for something to send, and there's something on that list, like I need 6 1x1 tiles, right? Maybe you have those 6 1x1 tiles, and it would cost you a stamp to send them to us. We have, you send them in, and then we add it to the collection, and we build this thing. And essentially what this would turn into is a community build of the UCS Millennium Falcon. And it'd be one of those things that's like a centerpiece of the studio where it's 100% in real life showing the power of the community. I've talked about it in not like physical terms, but just in terms of the power of what we can do here. But to have this giant Lego set here, the biggest Lego set that exists, that was built using the collection that I have, which is some things that people have sent us as well, but also from things that have been sent into us. And I don't want this to come off, and I'm like, as I think about this, I worry about putting this out there because I don't want people to think like, oh, all Greg is greedy and Greg just wants us to send him stuff. That's not the case at all. But the thought of it is almost like a thing where I have what I have, and if you have a little something, I wouldn't expect you to send me like a box of 1,000 pieces, but if you have like a little something, we all come together and we build this thing. It'd be really cool, and it's like a dream that I have. But I don't want it to come off in that light. And you guys can let me know what you think about it. Does it seem, and I don't want it to feel that way, where it's like I'm begging for like, help me build a Millennium Falcon. Again, it's like, it's going to be a junk build. So it's like whatever pieces and whatever parts that match, but like are different colors or whatever. I want to do it, and I could do it myself, but I just thought it'd be cool for like the community, because you guys obviously, you send Clarkman Hot Wheels and Matchboxes, you know what we're into. And if you knew that we needed those parts, it'd be a fun thing to be like, hey, here's some parts for the Falcon. And it's like, cool. And then one day in the back wall of the studio, I'm going to get the thing to mount it on the wall. We have this thing built, and it's just like, it's there. And that was us. We did it. So I love that idea, and I'd love to be an inspiration for you to finish your build, Marcio. Good luck to you on that. That's a cool set, and Yeah, it's interesting to see what you can come up with. And I mentioned this in previous episodes. I want to be the guy that shows you that you don't have to rush out and buy a new set. I know a lot of younger adults, definitely not kids, are watching this, and maybe you don't have the money to go out and even get a $10 set, but I bet you have the pieces. And maybe you didn't think about like going through and trying to build a set just using what you have. And maybe it's not going to be the right colors, but it's going to be yours, and it's going to be something that you made and you did it for free, or maybe for next to free with Bricklink. I think it could be something really, really powerful. We almost made it through this without my battery dying on my camera. We were that close, but here we are back again. We were talking about Bricklink there, and I actually want to follow up on that with a question that I got and a topic that I didn't cover last week. This is from John Bailey, who says, "Hey Greg, love your channel." Thank you, John. It says, "Question, what do you think of the Lego acquisition of Bricklink? Would love to hear your take on it. Thanks." And I didn't talk about this for a reason. I feel like I'm not probably the most qualified person to talk about it, just for the fact that I don't have a lot of experience on Bricklink. I've done some orders on there here and there. I've had great experiences. The sellers that I've worked with have been fantastic. I'm obviously not a seller on there. So I think those would be the type of people that you really, man, this camera, I had it like perfect and now I'm messing with it. I think from a seller standpoint, it could be a much more, this is, my OCD is getting triggered here. If you're listening to this, I'm trying to adjust my camera, and I had it like so good, and I'm not loving it right now, but we're almost at the end here, trust me. I think Ryan and Clutch and Brick Vibe did a really good podcast on it where they talked about the maybe the negative consequences of this. There could be some positives that come from this, but I know from a seller standpoint, the fees are super low in Bricklink, and that's a concern that they're going to raise fees up. There's a concern that being that Lego is like the first party dealer, they're taking into the secondhand market, and they're going to control that as well. And that's a little scary when you have like these things get gobbled up by corporations and stuff. And for me, like, I'm not super confident in Lego's technical abilities just based on like some things with their site, and then with the VIP thing, like Lego, they might make great toys and have great products, but sometimes the technical aspect of them aren't that great, and I worry about maybe what they're going to do to Bricklink. But Bricklink already has a solid foundation and it works really well. I hope that this doesn't damage anything on there, because it's a great resource, especially if I'm going to be doing these junk builds to go on there and get stuff. And I don't want them scaring sellers away. And raising prices, of course, is never a good thing. But if that does happen, sellers are going to have to come up with the money to do it. And it's just scary. I guess it's just the unknown that's the scary thing. I think they've said that everything's going to be the same, and then they've said that things are going to change. And who knows what's going to happen with it. But I just hope that things continue on the way they are, because it's been a great resource for me in the few times that I've used it. And obviously I follow people here on YouTube that they make a business out of it. And I want to see people continue to be successful, especially in these dangerous times here on YouTube, where that's up in the air as well with this whole COPPA thing. And it's just like, man, do they have to pull the rug out from under us on everywhere here or what? Because you're scaring us with all this uncertainty. But for now, it's just that. And I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. But in terms of impacting me or my thoughts on it, I just hope that things kind of stay the same that they are, and I continue to have a good experience on there, and sellers continue to be able to offer products and make a living at doing it. And Lego doesn't come in like the corporate overlord and crush all that, which could be a possibility. But I'd love to learn more about that myself. I haven't watched too much on it. I only got about halfway through Ryan's podcast before something else came up. So I would like to watch that one. I know Jang did a video on it as well. I think Brickzar talked about it slightly. I would love to see his like detailed analysis of it, especially maybe once things actually start kicking into effect here, which I think is going to be maybe early next year. Early next year is going to be a scary time for all of us, guys. We're going to survive it, though. Speaking of that, I didn't want to talk about COPPA, but I'm going to talk about it briefly here. I've marked a bunch of my videos on Greg's World as made for kids. Anything that's on there that's related to like toys or shopping for toys, I feel like that's very much kid related or whatever. But just like my regular vlogs over there, me and Clark like doing things. Surprisingly, my RC videos seem to be okay, because it's kind of like my experience. I find that I haven't been marking my videos purposely just to see what YouTube's algorithms do in their machine learning. And it seems like videos where it's like me and Clark like both interacting and doing something that's not toy or like drawing or whatever related, or board games, I feel like they're like, okay, that's fine. Where you get into a dangerous spot, and this is gonna hurt us here on Brickitect, kids and toys together, they're not loving it. So my videos are tagged with Lego. You got Clark in it. You got him as a child actor, supposedly. My videos, any video that I put out with Clark in it on Brickitect is getting hit with a made for kids flag. So I mean, I could go in there and say, no, it's not made for kids. But I think once this takes effect here in January with the whole COPPA thing, they're going to hit me on those. And that's fine. I'm not going to stop making videos with Clark because they don't make money and that you're not going to be notified. I think the most passionate people and the people that care know where to find us, and that we put out videos pretty much every day in the afternoon. So I'm still going to make videos with Clark, but again, 2020 is going to be a lot more solo stuff. Not Star Wars. Well, that was going to be a joke, but it failed miserably. Solo stuff with me, not Solo, the Star Wars movie. Just, I have some ideas for actual things I want to do. I'm going to try to run this like a TV channel almost, like I mentioned before, where it's like day by day type things where you know what to expect each day. And that'll even get easier once Clarkman goes to school. It's going to be a lot of that. But if anything, I feel like I'm going to be making more videos. I'm going to be doing like my solo stuff and then the Clark stuff where we actually do things together and build sets and share our experiences is going to be like a bonus or an extra thing. Just knowing that I can't make a business out of doing our videos together, which is it's a dang shame. But, you know, it's YouTube's world and you play by the rules. And I'm hoping that we're okay with that, or they're okay with that. Like, my videos, again, are for anybody. You could be 8 years old or 80 years old and love these videos, hopefully. And I know a lot of other creators are the same way. I know there's been like this doomsday thing where it's like, anything that shows Lego, I'm completely going to mark as kids. But for me, I'm not necessarily doing that. I'm, like this, for example, we've talked about Lego quite a bit. You can see Lego in the background. I certainly don't think that this video is intended for kids. But maybe they'll find out differently. Maybe all Lego channels will meet their doom, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a matter of just making it around YouTube's AI and their algorithms, and the FTC is just going to be an afterthought for me, at least. I don't think they're going to be coming at me for fines and stuff. And I'm happy to know that they've come out to say that the fines aren't as drastic as what they are. Like, people are saying like, oh, $42,000 per video. They look at your financial situation and they fine you an amount that hurts, supposedly, but they're not going to like put you out of business according to them. And I don't know if they would get you on hundreds of videos. I think like it's going to be reasonable if they were to fine you. But as far as me getting fined, and I think a lot of other people feel this way, and maybe this is a bad philosophy, we all feel like there's much bigger fish to fry. Like, if these Roblox players that are playing a Roblox game and thinking that just because they're talking in it that it's made for adults, when they know very well that it's like all 7-year-olds that are watching it, if they can get away with it and have like 1 million subscribers and not get dinged by the FTC, I think little here Brickitect at 78,000 subscribers is probably going to be okay when I'm making videos like this. But we'll find out. I really don't want to talk about COPPA again, but I thought I'd throw that in here. So, you know, that's just kind of what's going on. I do have one other comment here, and this one I thought was kind of funny. This is from the Brando Dude. It says, Greg, you should build during the podcast, but do not tell us what you're building. And at the end of the podcast, tell it what it is and what makes it special. Please do this. It'd mean the world to me. And I thought, oh, that's kind of an interesting concept. Like, if I'm down here, like, doo-doo-doo-doo. But then I also thought that I'm a terrible multitasker, and the fact, just the act of me trying to build something while I'm formulating actual thoughts that turn into this, it wouldn't go well. It would be a disaster. If I could ever try to do that, I would. I guess that's more of like a live stream thing where you're not trying to present yourself. You're kind of just building and chatting at the same time. But even that, I'm kind of not very good at. So it's a cool idea, but I don't have the brain capacity for doing two things at once. Walking and chewing gum at the same time, I would probably trip. So thank you guys so much for the comments. If you guys have any feedback on this episode, things I messed up that I said, things that made you think about something, anything you want to say, something that I could cover next week, it can be unrelated to anything I talked about here. I'd love to do this as like a little extra thing at the end and have you become a part of the show. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hang out with me. Thank you if you've been here for the last 6 years. Thank you if you've been here more than one day. Thank you if you've been here 1 hour. If this is your first video, you're in store for a lot of stuff in the coming year, and I'm thankful to have you with me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll find you in the next Missing Pieces.